You don't watch wrestling, do you? You do? Man, let me tell you, man, they've been stepping it up.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, for years I stopped watching wrestling. And ever since Triple H took over the creative department, been doing a great job.
Okay. Yeah.
Really, really good job. I mean, I've been impressed. Like, it's been bringing a lot of old wrestling fans back
Mm-hmm.
to back to wrestling again.
Yeah. Nice. 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 Ah.
Awesome. All right. So he why he didn't want me to oh man, okay. I get it. Oh,
You like
that
that,
would have
huh?
been, you know what would have been great?
What?
I mean, it sounds terrible, but what would have been great if that would have been the part of the promo. If we had,
Ooh.
if we had just snipped it. Oh, it's actually, we still can like make it short from it.
We could. We
We
could.
still can make it short from it.
We could.
I like that.
I'm
Uncle
trying
Man. Oh, John.
to.
How come you don't want me no more, man?
Okay. I had to make sure. All right, cool. Since I got
I
these in
re-
my headphones, I'm trying to make sure the sound's coming through.
I actually rewatched not that episode, but that part like a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Because even as a kid, it stopped. It made you think
Yes.
because
Yes.
Fresh Prince was like it was a comedy,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't even funny about that part.
No, not at all.
There was nothing funny about that part. I feel like Will did a good job at trying to play it off, and then he just
Yep.
couldn't contain it no more.
Yeah.
He was grown because it hurts, man. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I definitely understand. Um, we are live. Um,
And
let
back
me
in
go ahead
living
and
color.
I know, right? You gotta say that. Um, got to say it, man. Let me get this started. So, yeah, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Two bearded guys, Nichelle D and
Bearded legend gaming.
but he ain't a legend. He's here. Legend says it that he exists, but we see he exists. So
Right. Right.
we got a living legend. Um, I mean, what do you really call a living legend? An icon?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah. I like that word.
Okay.
Icon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let me see something here. I got an issue going here with one of my lights. Let's see. So I recently just purchased like a whole bunch of lights, right?
Yeah.
And trying to see why in the world a couple of them aren't on. Let's see.
I really need to do my lights again. Like everybody's been telling me to do my cloud wall because that was
Mm-hmm.
like everybody. It was like everybody's favorite part about my stream was the cloud wall.
Yeah.
And now that I got like a bigger space to do it, I can do it. But I just have so much in my background
Yeah.
from from our wedding shower and stuff like that. So it's been one of those those things like, all right, where do I need to put this stuff?
Right. Right. Yeah. And like I said, for me, I had like the same lights for years. Like when I first started streaming, there were some lights I had bought from Walmart. The brand was called Monster,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I don't even. No, I don't have it. I gave them to my kids, but basically, it was like $9.99,
Mm-hmm.
$10 lights, give or take. And at that time, I didn't know anything about lighting. I just saw lights, and I was like, okay, well, let me pick these up and see what it do.
Right.
And they work. They work fairly well. I mean, I never really had an issue with it. I felt like they complemented my streams.
Mm-hmm.
they're okay. But I decided to upgrade. The only reason was because some of them started shorting out,
Mm-hmm.
and they stopped responding to the controller. Like if I would push like the color blue, it wouldn't work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, which is strange, but it is what it is. And right now, these are what we call Govee lights,
Oh yeah.
and I learned about these from there. And I saw a deal for Prime, like Prime Day.
Mm-hmm.
Got these for like $19, and which wasn't too bad. Had a coupon that came along with it.
Oh wow.
But
Dang.
however, I'm noticing that one of them is not they're not lighting up for some reason. It's lighting up,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a small portion right here no one can see obviously, but it's not lighting up for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably just play with it a little bit after stream
Yeah.
and see what's what. Um, and if it doesn't, because it was working just fine yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and when I turned it on this evening, if they don't come on, man, I'm just have them send me another pair.
Right. Yeah.
Because I literally just got these like yesterday. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Cause that's those are the same lights that I was using in my cloud wall with
Yeah,
the Govee. So yeah, I
yeah.
really like them. But I've seen some that are like the scone lights that you can put on
Mm-hmm.
the like on the wall, and then the light shines up or down, however you want it. I saw
Mm-hmm.
some of those. Those are pretty cool. And then they got some of those standalone lamps that you can put in the corner.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of like different things that you can stick in the corner or stick on your wall. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get some. There's one that goes behind the TV. I'm gonna go ahead and get that eventually. Because my TV's in the back, and
Yeah.
it's kind of just there. Just to kind of compliment it. And people often wonder like, what's the point in having lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like it literally like sets the mood, for whatever you got going on. It sets a mood. If the lights are really bright, it kind of lightens you up. If they're dimmed, it kind of makes you feel a little mellow. And I feel like different colors, just kind of make you feel some type of way too. And I've always tried to make my streams comfortable,
Yeah.
and because I want to be comfortable, and if I'm comfortable, I'm pretty sure everybody else
Mm-hmm.
is comfortable too. So I like a really cool environment. So some of my favorite colors are purple and red. Red is not as inviting,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still one of my favorite colors, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely recommend them for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. But well, D kind of already did it, but I'm gonna redo it again. We're gonna reiterate this. Welcome in everybody to the Two Pretty Guys podcast. I am Brita Legend. He is Initiality, and tonight's topic or tonight's episode is it's probably gonna hit home to a lot of people. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people because not everybody, but it's gonna be a topic that is probably gonna have some toes stepped on and some shins kicked and some feelings. But these are our opinions. Of course, we would love for y'all to comment, but beforehand, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that noted bell so y'all know next time we go live because we do it every other Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. But the topic of tonight is deadbeat parents. What is the problem and how can we fix it? Not as how can we fix it, but as a society, how can we fix it? Now, one caveat that I do want to throw out there, by no means are we, I mean, as far as me, because I did grow up in a two-parent household, so I don't know much about You know, I never experienced it, so I'm just me speaking kind of on what I've seen in friends and family members. Um, I'm sure D is doing the same.
Right.
But at the same time, if you guys do comment, please don't throw nobody under the bus.
Yeah.
We want
Yeah.
to we want to keep this civil, but please do
Yeah.
not throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah. We definitely try to keep it informative and educational. We joke and stuff too, but this is not really a funny topic. And I know that it can definitely touch some nerves. And you might be somebody that's watching this right now that maybe you're in a situation, and this sounds like the scenario that you might be, going through personally. Like, we don't mind commenting how you feel, but let's not take any personal shots or jabs at people. This just ain't the time or place for that. And I always feel like, keep your problems off the internet and in the face of those you got it with, and not telling other people just because. So, but yeah, this, just like Bearded said, this is a topic that he actually, brought to light a couple weeks back. It was actually not long after the last podcast that we had, and I thought it was a phenomenal idea. And much like, Bearded, I was raised with I was raised by my grandparents. So we with me and Bearded, we come from two different lifestyles, of course. And I was raised by my grandparents. My mom, she was in my life, of course. She still is in my life. It's a really, really, really long story. But maybe we could talk about that at another time. My dad, unfortunately, was not in the picture, and there's a lot behind that as well. But even though he was not in the picture, I'm not going to use this as an opportunity to throw him under the bus, because, me and Bearded, us being Christian men, of course, the Bible commands us to honor our parents, and it doesn't give us stipulations. It doesn't give us any type of reasoning to not do that. Like it says, honor thy mother and thy father, for your days upon the earth shall be long and prosperous. So it's not about what they did or what they said. It's about you as the individual doing what you are supposed to do. And, just let God take care of whatever wrongdoing in which you've gone through. So I don't have any ill will against my dad. I think the last time I talked to him was a couple months ago. And we don't really have much of a relationship, to be honest. But that is what it is. I felt like that experience made me not just a better man, but a very attentive father as well. So, but yeah, like I said, we're coming from different perspectives, and the real question is why? Like, what causes a person to just abandon, their child? Now, I gave you a scenario earlier. I don't know if you listened to the message this morning. I know you, much like me, you've been real busy. But I was trying to get your opinion as far as, by definition, what is a deadbeat parent? And scenario number one was, let's just say you got two people that mess around with each other, and then they don't see each other again for whatever reason, just part ways, not dating or anything. And then, she ends up with child, and that's that. Versus somebody who knows that they have a child and just completely refuses to step up and refuses to be there. Like, I felt like that was what we considered a deadbeat parent. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of hard to label somebody a deadbeat parent who doesn't even know that they're a parent. Because it happens.
Yeah.
There's some people in the world, I'm gonna just say there's some men who don't know that they're fathers.
Yeah.
And maybe the girl didn't try to reach out, or maybe she just never saw her again, and 15 years later, he found out you had a son or a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some situations like that. And when they found out that they had a child, they immediately like were jumped up and like, wow, I have a kid. I
Right.
didn't know this,
Yeah.
and they were there,
Mm-hmm.
versus, I know situations where people clearly have kids and they don't do anything
Mm-hmm.
for their kids at all. Like they don't support them. They don't financially, emotionally, they're just not there.
Yeah.
So, and that bothers me, as a dad, 2 to 3 kids, 17, soon to be 10 in a few weeks, and an 8-year-old. So it's a sensitive topic, for me, in numerous ways, but I know it's a sensitive topic for, a lot of other people out there as well. But
Right.
and let me just say, we're just touching it. Like we're not giving advice. We're brainstorming. We're just chatting about it because it's a thing, and it just can't be ignored.
Right. 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 I mean, honestly, I thought about the scenario, and then I got busy, so I was like, well, I can't answer him now. uh, yeah, I would tend to think the second scenario was more of, you know, ooh, change of scenery. Okay.
I'm sure. The fact that this is not working it's bothering me right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying something. It's bothering me. So I hate when I spend money on something and something, malfunctions.
Yeah.
Not to hold your thought, but it reminds me of when I bought an Xbox 360 many years ago, right out of the box, and it didn't work
Mm-hmm.
because the power brick was like malfunction.
Right.
So I took it back.
uh, so yeah, with your scenarios, definitely the second one I would consider, being type of a deadbeat. The first one, maybe not so much because again, like you said, they didn't really know. But I guess what we really need to do is define what a deadbeat parent actually is. And again, chat, this is we're not talking about like just deadbeat dads. We're talking about both sides of the spectrum. We're talking dad and mothers because it does happen on both sides. So what's
and that Go ahead.
oh I was going to speak. What's going on, wifey? How are you? Thank you for coming in. Unc,
Welcome on in.
welcome in, welcome in. And then Mr. Carlos,
Y'all
the
all came
man
in at
himself.
once.
The man
Came in at
himself.
Yeah, when it's a Carlos appearance, you know it's serious, right?
Right? It's like, oh my gosh.
Right.
So, happy Friday, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. But if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the topic of deadbeat parents again on male and female side. So we're not just gonna single out one gender at all because it does happen. Hence why I created the title of our episode. Why he don't want me no more, man.
Why'd you have to say he?
Because that's how it was. I don't know how. I mean, I could have said why they don't want me, but
Then we'll be sounding too modernized. Why they won't want me anymore?
right.
What pronouns are we gonna use here? um, it's
Oh,
just like when you hear what's going on, Carlos.
what's up, Whitley?
When you hear the term deadbeat, you automatically think men, right? Like a dad, because that's what we hear. That's what we've been hearing forever. Like deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad. It's just that term, that thought process is what we've been conditioned to believe. Like if it's gonna be a deadbeat parent, it's gonna be the father for the most part. That's what society believes. And we're here to tell you that that's not all the way true, and that there definitely are some deadbeat mothers here as well. But I'm going to read something here, and I'm going to tell you why. And I can't even disagree with it. This is according to the U.S. Census that was taken actually in 2021, which was approximately 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it says that 43% of American children live without a physical father present, while only 8% live without a mother. Now, there that speaks volumes right there. 43% of American children live without their father. So it's no secret that men definitely are in the lead when it comes to being a deadbeat parent versus that 8%
Yeah.
of mothers. Now, how accurate that is, I don't know. It's just, according to this USA census, like I said, that was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to disagree with that because it was just like me and you talked about earlier. So I made this statement, and this is me just sharing, a little bit of me and Beard's voice texts earlier before we decided to do this. That in chat, feel free to interact, agree, disagree. Let's just keep it respectful, of course. I feel like the majority of deadbeat parents are fathers because unlike women who are emotional creatures, you're carrying a child for 9 months, you're enduring the pain, you're enduring the feelings, you're bonding with this child, and then they come into the world. It's like, wow, like you were inside of me all of this time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they always cry and just they're already emotional by nature, and that just completes them. Like every woman, just about every woman that I know who's had a child or a baby says that they didn't think that they would be a good mother, but once that child is here, it just clicks.
Yeah.
And it's like a bond that's never broken that really begins within the womb. And that is where us men can't necessarily relate because we're not carrying the child. We don't feel that emotional attachment
Mm-hmm.
because most guys are not emotional. We're physical. So it's not really difficult. And I'm not saying it's right, but it's not really difficult for a man to detach himself from that scenario, especially if he's not in a relationship with the woman or if it was just a one night stand or something like that, which is why I think that the census here, definitely falls in favor of men being the primary
Yeah.
deadbeat parent. Now,
Right.
I'm not even going to try to like argue or dispute that because I do believe that that is true.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Dead eyes, welcome in, Martrice. I guess I see you.
Hey yo, what's happening?
But well, let's talk about it though. So
Yeah.
we're gonna touch on both like men and women. So I know you talked about showing a video. I don't know if you want to do that or not, or if you were
Look,
prepared to do that.
I wasn't prepared to do it this time.
Okay, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. What side do you want to start with?
I mean, let's go with the. I guess go with the obvious side. Let's go with dads first.
Okay, okay. So deadbeat fathers. I'm gonna kick it off with you. Like in your opinion, what do you think is within the man's mind that makes him just turn away from his child? Because remember, a deadbeat father is a person who knows they're a father,
Mm-hmm.
but chooses not to be active.
Yeah.
What do you believe makes them so cold in that regard?
Honestly, I think the for me the number one thing is like it's on the tip of my tongue. Mm, mm, mm. It is on the tip of my tongue. They're not ready.
Oh, okay.
I would say they're not ready to be a father. Um, I would say finances would be honestly. I would say finances would be number one, but I
Mm-hmm.
think finances would be number two. just because one, when you get someone pregnant, you like they tell you, hey, by the way, I'm pregnant. You're like, I don't know how I feel about this. And
Right.
then the second thought is, I can't provide for this baby. And I don't make that much money because, we all know child support is gonna happen. Um, so I think that's the next thing is like the whole finance part of it. Um, trying to think, is there anything else that I had on top of my head? Um,
There's some
but
guys out here that have money.
yeah, and they
Yeah, but they still choose to not to be
so
in
then
the child's life.
right, so then that comes a lack of responsibility because that's basically what a deadbeat is like dead, and not just saying deadbeat parents, but deadbeat period. Like they have a lack of responsibility. Now, when it comes to deadbeat parent, then you got lack of responsibility and you're not paying your child support.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dead Eyes just said it right there. In most
Yeah.
cases, deadbeat parents is a lack of responsibility.
Okay. So we gotta push the rewind button for a second here. You said that a lot of fathers walk away because they're not ready,
Mm-hmm.
to be a father. And obviously, if they were ready, they wouldn't leave. So my thing is, why why do guys, well, you have to go back to both men and women because it takes two to tango, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Sure.
Why do guys continue to play the game, so to speak, and completely disregard the consequences, or the potential of a pregnancy occurring? Because you're gonna say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because nowadays, look, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I talk to a lot of people, and people these days are very, very reckless, if you know what I mean. Like, they're not utilizing like protection and whatsoever. They don't care,
Mm-hmm.
and they got jokes about it nowadays. Like, my pull-out game is weak. Pull-out game is blah blah blah, and I, I'm even I even hear people say things like, you're gonna have my baby, you're gonna have a baby, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dang man, like y'all just casually say these things, and then when it happens, it's like,
Like,
whoop, you know,
yep, time
oh
to go.
gosh, yeah, time to go. Like, and to me, that's the trait of a child.
Yeah.
It's like a kid getting in trouble and then trying to run away,
Mm-hmm.
from the situation. And I've always said that, age doesn't necessarily have anything to do with maturity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of grown men out here that feel like sleeping around with women increases their masculinity. When, in my opinion, that shows how weak you are because you don't know how to display self control.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what I. That's yeah. That's
and then
my
the women can get emotionally attached to you because of that. So now you're adding more problems.
right.
So
But 43% of kids don't have a father. That's like almost 50%.
yeah, that's sad. That's really
Yes,
sad.
it shows that there's just this huge incline of immorality nowadays.
Yeah.
And we know that we know that immorality has always been a problem, but now it's like, wow, 43% with it. That was just 2 years ago. Who knows what it is now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I can definitely agree with you on that one. Let's see. Whitley says, "What's crazy is the fact that people know that their pockets are empty before they lay down and still do it anyway." Yeah, I still haven't figured that out. I still have not figured that out yet, and I don't think we're ever gonna figure that out. Like, honestly, what I was gonna say earlier, I can't remember what question you asked, but um, my answer to your question was gonna be because men like to play games.
Yeah.
I think that's one reason is because men like to play games.
I'm trying to get deep with this and figure this out. I mean, okay. Let's go back in time to not us, but teenage boys, who may not have been raised with a father in the household. And this is no jab to moms. Moms are great. But I know some single mothers right now that they're trying their best to make things happen, but it's really hard to cover like all the bases, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes things slip through the cracks. And every boy at some point is going to seek out that male refuge to seek advice or knowledge. And a
Yeah.
lot of times that's the streets. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it might be their favorite rapper or whatever the case may be, and they hear this subliminal messaging as far as what it means to be a man. You know what I mean? Like how many
Yeah.
bodies do you got? You ain't this and that. If you not slaying bad chicks, and we hear this over and over and over, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
around other boys who are in the same situation who are
Mm-hmm.
doing these things, but none of these boys have been taught the consequences of their actions.
Right.
And then they go along with it and they do it, and then it's like, uh-oh, um I didn't no one told me about this chapter,
Right. Right. We
you know
skipped all
so
over that one.
right, like we skipped this chapter, so what do I do, like? And I think that cycle, we see an endless cycle of just a reoccurrence
Mm-hmm.
of these actions from young men. And i gotta I gotta like slap the girls on the hand a little bit too, like y'all got the y'all got the power. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all
Yeah.
got the power, and you know what I mean. You got the power. You know what I'm saying? They got the power. They got the power, and all you got all you got
Oh
to do
man.
all you got to do is say no. You shut that down, but you know, again, your girls very very emotional. Some guys know exactly what to say to get what it is they want. And when it says that 42% of children are without their fathers, just like boys, girls need their fathers in their life too.
Amen to that.
To be, you know what I'm saying? Like a father is to a little girl is supposed to be the first standard of a man
Mm-hmm.
that she encounters.
Right.
And he's supposed to teach her, he's supposed to show her the way, he's supposed to show her what to avoid, etc. And when she doesn't have that, much like a young boy will seek out what it means to be a man various ways without his father, a young lady will seek out that male attention that she was supposed to get from her father.
Right.
And usually it's from young boys, or even in the case of adults, other men.
Yeah.
Because there's some grown women who have not healed, and they don't even know that they hurt, and they end up in these situations because
Mm-hmm.
I know women that be like they got 5 kids or 4 different baby daddies, and it's like, oh my gosh, man, like
Yeah.
this is terrible. Like it really just goes to show that you didn't learn anything because you didn't have that guidance growing up.
Right. Right.
So they fall into that vicious cycle.
Yeah. I was just about to say that because I mean, just like the Bible says, man. Like that's what our parents are there for. You know, they talk about it in Proverbs when the father's talking to his son. You know, I'm
Yeah.
here to teach you discipline and correction and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we all need. We need that fatherly guidance. Whether it's from your father, whether it's from granddad,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be an uncle. You never know. But fathers are definitely needed in the household.
I think that's why we see so many problems now.
Mm.
I think that's why we see so much confusion in the world. I think that's why we see so much rebellion. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why we just see so much acting. Oh, ladies, this is not a hit to you, but I think this is why we see so many people acting on their emotions and not with rationale,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are raised by their mom, and we know women are emotional creatures,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the boy and the girl take after her, acting on their emotions, when the man's supposed to be there to, install rationale, install, taking charge and leadership and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we see in a deficit of that, and we have a generation that just simply does not care about anything that they do anymore.
Yeah.
And the percentage is actually, and I know we said we weren't going to harp on just one, but me being a father, it's really hard for me to ignore this, because like
Yeah.
I said, I got 3 kids, and it's hard. Like, it's really hard being a parent.
Yeah.
I felt like it was easier when they were little, but now it's like their personalities are developing. They're all going in their own direction, and I have to like follow each of them
Mm-hmm.
to support them and to make sure that I'm being the best dad I can be, because I don't want to fail, because I know what it looks like to see a child have a father that's failing.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm gonna bring up a scenario, very personal.
Okay.
um I got a I have a really good friend, and she's also a client of mine. I'm sure she don't mind me talking about this, because it's really not a secret anymore. She's dealing with a very bad situation with one of her kids, her oldest son, and he's the same age as my oldest. He's 7. He's about to turn 17 next month. My
Mm-hmm.
son's a little older than he is, and he's in jail right now for sexual assault.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's in jail for sexual assault right now, and his dad is just really, really not. I told we told the chat that we weren't gonna bash, for y'all not to bash anybody. So it's gonna take everything in me to not to follow that rule. But the father is not doing anything whatsoever, and I completely believe it was the reason that his son ended up on that path is because he did not teach his son anything about how to be a man, about responsibility, about leadership, about anything. He just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But then me and his ex-wife, we talk about this often, and we both came to the scenario. Well, his father was not really in his life either.
Wow.
He was
Hmm.
in and out of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He would cheat on his mother. He would do all of these different things. He just was not. He wasn't a standard of what a man should be.
Mm-hmm.
And you're only going to be what it is you see. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So that right there caused that problem. His other kid is having trouble in school right now because of that situation with his older brother,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a result of a father being a deadbeat.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot I can say about that, but I don't want to harp on it. But that's just one scenario that I know personally, and
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, it's very hard raising kids, and I don't want to sit here and say, "Wow, shoot, I understand why some guys run away."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand that, and I don't sympathize with no man that walks away from his child. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you don't you think about that? Like, how can you think about like how could you not think about that?
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, how,
that's just sad, man. That is just really sad. And I mean, I wouldn't even say the fathers that up and leave. I mean, you still have fathers that are still there that are not even doing anything, you know? So, I mean, would you consider them deadbeats?
to my a father that's currently
Like,
in the household,
like,
but not.
but they're not upholding their responsibility as a parent.
Yeah, I think that by definition, a deadbeat is somebody who relinquishes responsibility of being a parent, whether they're inside of the home or outside of the home. In fact, I think it may be worse
Oh yeah,
if
if
they're
they're
in the
in the home,
home.
oh yeah, it's gotta be worse.
That's worse. Yeah, that's definitely considered to be a deadbeat. And like I said, I got no respect whatsoever for any deadbeat
Mm-hmm.
fathers out here because every time, let me put it like this. We gotta like look, we gotta be profound with this. Like every time a man walks out on his child, he creates a problem for the world.
Yeah.
I'm say that again. Every time a man creates a child and walks out on them, you create a problem for the rest of us
Mm.
because we don't know how that child is going to turn out. Now we can hope and pray that mom can do the best that she can, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mothers out here who do their best. They really do. They do all
Yeah.
that they know. But I'm telling you now, I know a woman right now that says I can't raise a boy to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things I can't give him. And that's and some women have it in their heads that they can do that. No, you can't. Because if you could, it wouldn't take man and woman to come together to create, do the fusion dance and create a kid. You need both.
Not the
You
fusion
need
dance.
both. I mean, look, we all this ha 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 ha.
Not
We
the
all
fusion.
we all did look. I'm trying to keep it rated PG over here. All right, I'm just
Fair
saying.
enough. Fair enough. Fair
We
enough.
somebody's mama's watching this probably. So
The
the fusion dance
fusion.
come together. Bam. It takes two. Y'all remember that song? It takes two. You know what I'm saying? It takes
Mm-hmm.
two. So it was never intended for a child to be raised by one parent.
Right. Right.
That was never
Agreed.
the design. Of
Agreed.
course, that's in the scriptures. It tells us that parents,
Mm-hmm.
raise your child, or not mom raise your child, or dad raise your. It wasn't supposed to be that way,
Right.
you
Exactly.
know. And obviously that sin entered the world, and we got just different ideologies as far as how people look at
Right. Right.
that. You know,
So, I was thinking about this earlier when you were talking about the mothers having to have to be both, basically be both parents. Put it that way.
yeah, yeah.
So, do you think that is why they celebrate Mother's Day more than Father's Day?
No, hold on. Say that again. Do I
Do,
think it's what?
do you think that's why more people celebrate Mother's Day than Father's Day?
Possibly, possibly. Um, Obviously, when Mother's Day, when Mother's Day is upon us, we got to
Yeah.
throw out the rose petals
Mm-hmm.
and get the white horses and stuff. And when Father's Day comes, you might get Eo or the donkey, to come out. Hey, you'll be all right. Give him some socks. Is fathers have become like one thing I hate. I'm
The
sorry, man.
socks. uh,
I hate how dads become like the butt end of the jokes though when Father's Day comes around. As if it's
mm-hmm.
not important because there are some very hardworking parents out here, fathers out here who love their kids. I feel like there should be equal.
Yeah.
amounts of respect across the board. And it's not funny to me, how fathers are treated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And also you have it to where when Father's Day comes up, you got some moms out there that are like, I'm both mom and dad. Like, you got to stop saying that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not dad.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not a man. You don't have a male member. You don't produce seed. You're a woman. You're a mom.
Mm-hmm.
You can, what can you really teach a boy as far as, how to be a man? How? I just, it's a sincere question. How
Yeah.
do you teach a boy how to be a man? How?
And the
Think
only
about this for a
way
second.
the only way I could think of this is if you came from a military home. To me, I think that's one of the ways. Like, maybe your father instilled, like, they instill like some manly traits that you could teach your children. I don't know. This is just me thinking off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I would say definitely military, because I know military brats. They're very strict when it comes
Yeah.
to raising their children. Just
Yeah.
because that's how they were raised.
Okay. Um, yeah, I just think it'd be really difficult for, just your average woman's
Yeah,
raising
sure,
a
sure,
boy to be a man.
sure.
And I'm gonna flip the script too, because I think I didn't beat men enough. OG says
Carlos.
I haven't. He had no respect at all for deadbeats. Carlos says they attempted to try and care, and that makes the kid feel worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So
Polymerization
let.
in the dark. Oh gosh.
Oh Lord.
Oh goodness, Carlos.
um. But let's do like Two-Face and flip the coin.
Flip the coin.
Go on the other side. Now let me ask you a question. Now, I just said that I personally don't feel like a woman can teach a man how to be a boy how to be a man in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that a single father can teach a girl what it means to be a woman?
Honestly, in my opinion, I'm gonna say no, because they're not a
Okay.
woman. Now, me saying that, we also got what we call mama's boys. So, of course, your mother is there to teach you, like, household stuff: clean, cook, laundry, things like that. Um, I guess how to treat a woman. Even though the dads can do that as well, I think women can do the same, because you see how your dad treats your mom and things like that. Um, so
That's a hard one.
yeah, I say no, but at the same time, after just explaining that, it's kind of like half and half.
Yeah. See, that's where I'm at. See, that's where I go the other way. I do feel like a man can raise a girl to be a successful woman,
Mm-hmm.
because like all of those things you just named, like cooking, cleaning, attending to the home and stuff like that. Let's remember when Adam came, it was Adam first,
Right.
and God created Eve from his rib. So it was never Eve's job to cook and clean and none of that stuff. That was not her job. Her
Right.
job was to help Adam clean, cook, look after the animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's his responsibility. And he was supposed to teach her how to do these things so that she could assist him.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do believe that a
Bars.
man can fully equip a young lady to become a respectable woman, to perhaps be somebody's daughter, wife one day.
Wife. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do believe that. And I think by, and depending on what type of a man he is, a girl is naturally going to express feminine traits by nature. I don't feel like you need to teach a woman how to be feminine. They already are, by nature. If you're not doing anything sadistic or anything, trying to reprogram their thinking or the way that they're intended to be.
Right.
But that's just my opinion on it. And I say all of that to say that just like there's some men who are not a part of their kids' life. There are some moms that are not a part of their children's life too.
Yeah.
According to the U.S. Census, it's 8%, but I don't know if it's higher than that or is that accurate. I'm not sure. So
yeah.
Now, folks, we don't have the video, but I'm gonna let you explain, what it is that even sparked, this podcast here.
What? Yeah, you go ahead. If you read
Carlos says if a woman had a great father male figure growing up, they can use that as a base to raise the boys. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, Carlos. I mean, I'm sure there's some women who probably have done a great job with, their boys, and they turned into men. But I know that they probably would be much better, effective men if they had the proper parenting, meaning the father being, there in the household too. Same as before, if they had a great role model mom figure growing up, they could use that as a base for the girls. He came first a few times. Oh, shut up, Carla.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Get out of here. Bro. Man. Didn't I just tell you you're supposed to be rated PG in here, man? Go to sleep.
Oh, my goodness.
Go to sleep, man.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to see if I can pull it up.
It's time to go to sleep, man.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Okay. I'm going to have to move it over.
Carlos, comedian.
Let's see. I'm going to have to move it over here real quick.
I'm going to take a trip down there, man. Visit you one day. We're going to sit down and have a few laughs. All right, so Beard is trying to pull up this video that we watched together. And y'all will be taking a look at it here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if this is not the guy that I...
Why don't you share the scene from Twitter?
I think I found it. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. I found it. All right, hold on 1 second. Oh my gosh. All right, and share this screen, and boom, and got that. Now y'all let me know if y'all cannot see this. Let me unmute this. Can everybody see it?
I see it, but I don't think they can see it. Wait, hold on. Let's see. All right, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Hey, listen. Go on just go sit on the porch. Hey, listen. What do you think you're doing? I'm dropping them off. Good. Listen, I met a younger guy. He don't want no kids, and he don't want to listen. He don't want to deal with them. And so I'm dropping these kids off so me and him can live our life. We want to travel. We want to explore the world. And I can't do that with kids. I can't. I cannot believe. It's time for me to be happy, and I just want to be happy and stress-free without these children. That's all I want. Then you should ask me, baby. I shouldn't have asked.
You might turn it up a little bit.
Angel, it's respect. Well, I hope that you respect my decision on moving on with my life with my new man and no kids. I'm not raising your kids. Well, I'm not either. Well, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not doing it. I'm just letting you know right now I'm not doing it. These are your 3 kids. I'm tired of being a single parent. I'm tired. But hey, babies, wait, don't go in the house yet. Why not?
So that's part 1. Here's part 2.
Lay down and made the decision to have 3 kids. That is not my responsibility. And this is the last time you're going to do this. You're not doing it anymore. It's your responsibility, not mine. Well, it was not my plan to be no single parent. Well, it's not my plan to be a grandmother that's going to take care of somebody's 3 kids because they feel like they're not responsible anymore, that they don't want to be a mother anymore either. Well, look, I just can't. I can't do this no more. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. It's the person. I can't do it. But you're going to have to do it. Do you understand that you're going to have to do this? Well, I don't want to. Okay, but I can't. Do you understand that I'm not going to take care of your children? I'm not getting ready to raise 3 kids. Look, do you know how old you never taught me how to be a mom. You didn't tell me what to do. You didn't help me. So now it's your turn. You take your grandkids so I can live my life stress-free. Okay, but the reason that I could not teach you how to be a mother, Angel, is because I was working a full-time job. That's not my problem. I cannot. I'm not.
That's not
Just
my
hear me
problem.
out when
Wow.
I say
Wow.
I'm not gonna take care of your 3 kids that you had. But lay down and made the decision to have 3 kids. That is not my of your 3 kids that you had because you're disrespectful. You just come over here and just drop them off. I have to ask you to watch your grandchildren. No, you're not talking about watching. You just told me I was gonna have to raise them. I have to ask you to raise your grandchildren. Oh my God, they're your grandchildren. Oh my responsibility. I can't even believe I'm hearing this from you right now. I cannot believe that you actually think that I'm supposed to say it's okay that I'm just gonna just give up my life, my freedom, to raise 3 kids and not even mine. I raised you all, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So you can forget that. I'm not doing it. You're not raising us. But you. And I'm not raising mine. So it's your responsibility. So if you don't mind, drive off, you raise your grandchildren, you can do it better than I can. I can't do it.
Golly.
I want you to hear me when I say this. I hear you, but I am not raising your 3 kids. I am not keeping them today. I'm not keeping them tomorrow. Matter of fact, this is all your responsibility from this point on. You should have thought about that after you had the first one, and then the second one, and then now you got 3 of your 3 kids that.
Tell her again, and then this is the last part, y'all.
Hey, girl, bye. Yeah, well, and I raised all 3 of y'all. Yes, I did. You had everything that you wanted. I was right there to teach and instill you. I didn't even know where this attitude is coming from. I didn't raise you like this, Angel. Okay, well, listen. Being a single parent will make you angry, mad, upset, and stressed, and everything but, and I am tired. But you cannot come over here and drop those children off and think that I'm supposed to say, yes, I'm going to do it, because I'm not. Now, look, hey. There's no point in you telling them to get back in the car, because they're not coming. I'm not. They're not coming. No. Come on here. Yo, come on and get in this car. They're not coming. I'm not. What? Hey, what is the point of them getting back in the car? I'm not. I'm not either. So. Yeah, get in the car here. Oh my God. Come on here. Get in the car. Grandma loves you. All right, and I'll see you later. Angel. Yeah. Talking. We're done. You can go now. You can go now. Go on and pull off. I don't know what you're sitting here for. Out. Don't get out. Don't get out. What in the world? Get out. Hey, look. Oh my God. No shit. Yeah, get out. Hey, Angel, what? No, this chick did.
I know she wanted to cuss her out. I know she did.
She should have.
Left.
She should have.
I am really This chick just left.
She biting her
These
tongue.
children are growing up in the house. Oh my God.
Man, look. That boils my blood right there.
Yeah, that was bad.
That boiled my blood right there. I'm thinking about the kids right now. Like, and one of them, they didn't look like really, really small kids. Like some of them were like, you know, of age. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about what's going through their mind. What type of psychological damage are they going to endure, you know, from that right there? And that's just extremely selfish, you know, of this woman to sit here and say, I don't want to be a mom anymore because I met a man
They don't want kids.
that doesn't want kids. Man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this live. If my kids, of any of my boys, which I seriously doubt that they would, you know, Martrice is in here too, and she will vouch. If my kids ever decided to do something like that, we would be fighting. Like I love my boys, but we would be fighting.
Oh yeah, we got to.
Like, boxing gloves and all.
Hands and all.
Because it would be extremely disrespectful to me, their mom. Like, we didn't raise you like this. It would make us feel like failures if that was the case. You know, we would be fighting. I'm like, I sacrificed my life, worked tireless hours to provide for my kids, for you to grow up and turn out like this.
Yeah.
So I feel for the kids. I feel for her mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Martrice choosing her boyfriend over the kids. Yeah.
Because they want to travel.
Right. Because they want to travel.
Man.
So you really, so this stupid chick really thinks that this man, I'm gonna say chick, really thinks that this man is gonna be by her side forever, knowing that she got kids, and it's just, you know, just saying, I'm just gonna get rid of the kids, you know, we just gonna do us. Just because he don't want kids. You know,
it's some sick people in this world, bro.
Yeah. And that scenario right there, those boys, I didn't see if there were any girls or not.
Yeah, it was two boys and they had a sister. She was it looked like she was the middle child.
Those kids are going to be damaged. They're going to remember that, and they're going to take that scenario, and they're going to apply what happened to them as they grow.
Yep.
And don't be surprised. I mean, it could go either way. It could be, I don't want to be like my parent that did me like that, or I'm just going to turn cold. And the one parent that I had turned their back on me. You feel me? Like, it's one thing, like when there ain't no father in the household, but when you got the one parent that's there, decide that they just want to up and not be a parent anymore, that's got to pierce the heart in a way I can't even describe.
Like, big time damage for sure. Like you said earlier, I mean, it's gonna mess with them mentally, psychologically, emotionally. They're not gonna know what to do when they get in a situation like that, when they have kids. Cause I mean,
run away.
Yeah, and that's where the start of deadbeat parents come from, cause they run away from their problems or their responsibility. I ain't gonna say problems, their responsibility.
That image of that car like riding away is something that they'll remember forever. Like, they'll always remember that. Like, I'm gonna say that, you know, when there's people out here, I was talking to one of my old clients, she was like 23 at the time. And, we were talking about family. I said, she didn't have any kids. I said, before you have kids, make sure you travel and you see the world. Get all that stuff out of the way before you decide you want to start having kids. And then, sure enough, she ended up having a child, like within that time period. And, they doing their thing, they're together.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. But when you have a child, it does, and I can say this because, I'm the parent.
Sure.
It does change everything. Like, it changes everything. Like, me and Martrice were only together for 2.5 years before we had children. 2.5 years. So we didn't have that opportunity to travel together by ourselves. We didn't have that opportunity to go out and about by ourselves. We are just now getting to the point where we can go out by ourselves because our oldest son is almost grown.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He can watch the
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a decision. Like I wish a lot of these people would understand that was the choice that we made, and we understood. That hey, like my mom, she told me. I remember when I told her I was having a kid. She said, "It's all about the kid now." That was one of the first things she said.
Yeah.
And she said it's all about the kid now, and make sure that you're there, because there's nothing worse than another man calling your child calling another man daddy.
Yeah.
That's what she told me. And I was like, well, that ain't finna happen.
Right.
So, but scenarios like this, I'm sure, happen more than often, because that's actually not the first time I've seen a video like that. That video actually involved the kids, but there were other videos where I saw the father of talking to the mom and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't want to be a mom no more. Like, I want to go out with my girls and blah, blah, blah. I want to do this and that and the third. And I just don't want to do it no more. And one thing that woman said in the video here, she said being a single mama is stressful and it's hard and things of that nature. But why? Her mom was like, why didn't you think about it after the first?
After the first child, yep.
Yeah. And then the second. And then you want to know with the third.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It is.
I remember there's a woman, it was on YouTube I watched many years ago. She had like 7 kids or something like that. And you look it up on YouTube, you'll see it. She made the news for making the stupidest statement ever, talking about somebody need to help me raise these kids. Like, I need help raising these kids. Like, did you need help making them?
Right. It's like,
did you have?
Like, you couldn't have done it by yourself.
Right. Like, did you need help? I think you got help. Call them in.
Unless you went to a sperm bank, but still.
It's crazy to me how people can do this and then literally have the audacity to say, I need help, or I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show. Now, y'all know if y'all gonna come over here, you're gonna get Bible lessons.
Every time.
I mean, I got the good book right here. Okay. And scriptures always tell us, what does it say? Flee from fornication. Flee from fornication.
Yep.
That's in Genesis. That's God saying, hey, if it's temptation there, go the other way. Go the other way. Yep. Because if you go to it, there's consequences. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't want to accept the consequences. And when you don't accept the consequences, you create a problem. Like I said earlier, any parent that abandons their child creates a problem for the world. If some responsible adult doesn't come along.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, hopefully a responsible adult comes along.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said in the beginning of this podcast, like I said, my situation was a little different. I was raised by my grandparents. You know, my mom was there, my dad was not there. Um, I did have a lot of male influence in my life. You know, I had my great grandfather, I had my grandfather, and I had my stepdad. You know, so there was not a deficit of male influence in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, I had my grandparents, my mom, and things of that nature. So my upbringing was just fine.
Yeah.
You know, now do I wish my dad was there? Of course, you know, but there's nothing I can do about it, and it's over with.
Yeah.
And you know, I got kids of my own. I don't think about that type of stuff.
Right. Right.
You know, I really don't have time to think about it. But you know, unfortunately, there are some situations where there are some parents, like some kids out there, you know, who don't have that mom in their life, or who don't have their dad in their life. And I'm gonna read, and we're not gonna keep y'all too much longer, but I'm gonna read the article here because, like I said, we beat up the dads pretty bad tonight.
Yeah.
But there's an article I found called "Rise of Deadbeat Mom" of the Deadbeat Mom. And it says an increasing number of single dads are doing it all on their own. It says dads are having to step up more to take care of children, and are thus now doing what has traditionally been the role of the mother. Single dads are furtherly increasing, doing it entirely on their own with no support from the mother or another woman. Over the past 2 decades, there have been a significant increase in this trend. In America, about a third of the total of child support owed to custodial parents goes unpaid each year. These unpaid amounts partially represent the deadbeat parents who fail to care for their children. While historically, the term deadbeat has been popularized, applied to absent fathers that haven't supported the mother of their children, today, single fathers are actually more likely to be screwed by their exes than are single mothers. Now, before I continue, I always say I got a client. I got so many clients that come with me with their problems. This guy's like an accountant, and he takes really, really good care of his kids. And the mom, no, you know, they're no longer married. She's not really like an active mother per se.
Mm-hmm.
The kids don't like to be around her.
Yeah.
She's just out there for the most part. So I know dads, you know, who take care of their kids primarily like this is true. Let's see. How long is this article? It ain't too much longer, I don't think. Oh, it says I gotta create an account to read the rest of the article.
Oh gosh.
Ain't about to do all of that right there, man. Shoot, we ain't got time to be creating no accounts around here, man. Y'all get the picture.
Yeah, yeah.
That, you know, it says that there's an increase of deadbeat moms, you know, happening in the country. I still don't think it'll ever match the fathers. But, you know, I say all of that to say this, you know, the whole point of this is to just try to get into the mind, you know, of an individual that is you know, that is deemed to be a deadbeat, and figure out, man, why?
Yeah.
How come you don't want me no more? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Going right back to that Fresh Prince saying.
Yeah. You know, that's grown men and women that sit and they wonder, like, man, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Like, why did you leave? Like, why? Like, and that's all they want to know is just why.
Yep.
You know, and it just, I just feel like when a child doesn't have one parent, there's just some things that are missing in their makeup when they don't have a parent. Like I said, my dad wasn't there, So, and I feel like there's some things I'm missing because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, by the grace of God, of course, like I said, he had a lot of men in my life. And a lot of things that I know I've learned along the way in life. And my kids have taught me a lot as far as being a man. You know, the leadership tendency, the responsibility, the taking charge, the protecting. These are the characteristics of a man.
Yeah.
You know, and kids will do that. They will aid you as far as, you know, falling into your role.
Yeah.
Carlos says, sorry, I missed a bit doing some fatherly duties.
Oh, all good.
Man, look, you doing the right thing by not watching this and doing what you got to do. You're doing the right thing. I just want to throw it out there. What if that lady from the video ends up getting pregnant from the new boyfriend? What's gonna right? I hope so. I hope it happens.
Boy, that would be the best karma ever.
I hope it happens. Cause he don't want. Well, yeah.
He don't want
it would
kids.
be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Good.
So one more topic, guys, and then we're gonna end. And this is something I was thinking about. What are your thoughts on child support?
Oh, you asking the chat or me?
Or both? Yeah, both.
Well, yeah, chat. There you go. So, but man, my thoughts on child support are, if you're not present and you're not, you know, in the household, contributing willfully, I do believe that there has to be a system in place to help raise the child, because it's expensive raising a child. And again, it was never meant. The whole point of child support is literally to support the single parent that's doing the most work.
Yeah.
Because we all know that it was never intended for us to raise a kid by ourselves. You know, both mom and dad there, and the financial aspect of raising a child just can't be ignored. So I feel like child support definitely is necessary. Do I feel like it's because I know some people who are on child support and they hate it and they want to get off of it and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, well, this is the consequence. This is the answer to what you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, well, then again, some people get put on there for various reasons.
I agree.
Because I know people that's not deadbeat parents. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But I know people that's not deadbeat dads that they are there for their children and they take care of them and they still pay child support.
Yeah, and that was the other thing I was thinking about, because I mean, obviously you said what I was thinking. I mean, I'm sure there are some fathers out there, but. And again, we always hear about deadbeat dads and dads paying child support, but we don't never hear nothing about the moms paying child support.
I mean, here's the thing: like we're not present in every courtroom, and out of the billion people in this world, I know that there definitely are some cases. To where the mother is, you know, pays child support. Bro, what we need to understand, and I'm pretty sure the whole chat here, whether you agree or disagree, is that this world is, especially America, I won't say the world, but America has painted the man to be the bad guy. And anything, it's painted the man to be the bad guy. So anytime you think of deadbeat, you think of the father. Anytime you think of the aggressor, you think of the man. Anytime you think of somebody who started something, you think of the man. Who do you think about? When you think innocent, you think of the woman. When you think justice, you think of the woman. You don't think of the man when it comes to justice.
Yeah. And
that's the truth. You know, whether anybody likes it or not. Because that's what I see. That's what all of y'all see, whether you want to agree, admit it or not.
Yeah.
So you're not going to hear those type of cases all the time. For whatever reason, I mean that we can leave that up to speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Which is why everything that happens to a woman happens to a man. There are there are women on child support. There are men who are sexually assaulted by women. There are men who are physically abused by women, but you never really like see it plastered all over the place.
Right.
You just don't. You'll always hear about the football player who beat up his girlfriend, but you'll never hear about the R&B female artist who beat up her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never hear about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, out of the billion people in the world, you mean to tell me like there's no cases at all? Kidding me?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely there. Women get put on child support all the time.
Yeah.
Like that woman right there, prime example. I feel like if the grandma end up taking them in, she should put her on child support.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you on that one.
I bet she'll want them to get in the car then.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it's all about the kids at the end of the day. I mean, they got to live their life. I mean, you just can't expect somebody else to take care of your kids, and they got their own life to live too.
Yeah. What I didn't like about what she said was like she made it seem like her mom was obligated to take care of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta ask you to watch your grandkids. I gotta ask you to take care of your grandkids. I'm like, did she ask to be a grandmother?
I'm sure she was excited, but
right,
yeah,
that's your kids. That's not your grandma's kids,
right?
I mean, whenever the day comes that we have grandkids, we'll love them to death, but we're gonna definitely make it known these are your children, buddy.
They going home with you.
Go home with you. We feed them and you take them home. we'll do that. Like with us, we take pride in raising our kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like our kids, ever since they were all in diapers, we've never like asked anybody to like take care of our children. Now, family members have watched them.
Yeah,
when we go to work.
Yeah.
Go to work or something like that. This chick right here trying to travel, man. We gonna take care of your grandkids while I go out and live my life.
Right. Yeah.
Already looking like a 3 in the face, like you got choices. The audacity of this chick. No, I'm a roaster looking like a 3. They look like something off of a science fiction film. I don't want to be a mom no more. With the travel these kids, and being a single mom is so stressful. I'm like, with you?
This man said a whole 3.
Who's that with you? 3 times.
Oh, that is funny.
Paper bag over the head, chick. Serious, man. I told you, man. I'm pissed off. I feel sorry for those kids, man. I'm dude.
No, I'm with you. Like real talk, yeah, I'm with you.
Ugh.
Let's see. Carlos says, but then there are the parents that believe that by just giving the child money, they are fulfilling their role and want the benefits of parenting, like getting handmade gifts for the laugh. Yeah. Like, and again, going back to the dads, they might. So I don't know how many of y'all have seen the new Shaft movie where he finds out he's got a son. And he
when did this come out?
Oh, this was years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this is years ago. This is like Shaft 2. But he has a son as he's kind of younger Shaft. Well, he goes off and leaves him, obviously. But he's every birthday he sends him something. And it's something off the wall. It ain't nothing like he sent money or he sent like a birthday card. It was like the women's hottest women calendar and random stuff like that. But that kind of makes me, your comment actually made me think about that.
Yeah.
And then Mark says there needs to be child support, but I will say that being behind on payments should not be something that lands you in jail. I mean, honestly,
Uh,
I guess it depends on like how far behind, because
yeah, yeah.
I was actually reading up on something, and I didn't even know this, but Bill Clinton actually passed a deadbeat parent law in '98 when he was president.
Really.
I didn't even know this. I was just happened to be searching. But basically, it was created because fathers, not mothers, but fathers, failed their
Yeah.
responsibilities, and children, so that children could have a higher quality of life. But it was considered a federal crime if a parent willfully failed to make payments. And the
Hmm.
only way you can avoid making payments is if you traveled or if you moved to another state.
Uh, I mean, I'm thinking about the child. I'm not thinking about
Mm-hmm.
the person on child support. The child didn't ask to be here,
Mm-hmm.
and it shouldn't be nobody else's responsibility to take care of the child.
Right.
And if you opt out, then you should be obligated to pay child support. Now, as far as them going to jail, like you said, Beard, it depends how far behind we talking.
Yeah.
Are you doing everything that you can? Because I'm sure that when you on child support, they looking all in your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They all up in your business,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that you can talk to them and work something out, to avoid that right there, because people do get laid off, people do get fired, people do get in between jobs, but they're also gonna stay on your butt too to make sure that you are working and so that you can do that.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
I feel like a lot of people that end up going to jail, I mean, that's kind of on you.
Yeah. And so, two things that I gather from it is, so if any parent is behind for more than a year or they owe more than $5,000, they can be charged with a misdemeanor and possible 6 months in jail. Then it's increased to a felony if they're more than 10K or behind for more than 2 years, and then you'll be in jail for 2 years.
That's a long time. That's a lot of like opportunity
Yeah.
to catch up, right? You say at least a year before they actually take action, right? That was
So they got to be behind for the felony. They got to be behind for more than 2 years.
that's a long time to not
Yeah.
have no money.
Right. Right.
That's a long time. How are you surviving yourself if it take you 2 years and you behind for 2 years? How are you surviving?
Yeah. And I'm kind of with Mark on this one. Like,
Yeah,
how are you gonna pay your child support if you're in jail?
that's a good question. You can't.
There's no way you're gonna be able to pay your child support. Yeah, the misdemeanor is a year or 5,000. Yeah.
Oh man, a year or 5K.
Mm-hmm. It's, I don't know, man.
It's a tough. It is always gonna be a tough conversation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about child support, and it can be touchy too, because I know that there's some men out there that's really trying, when women that's trying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, things happen. And no, I don't know. Maybe there's some people who never planned on being on child support.
Yeah.
That happens. But like I said, overall, we can't predict the future. We don't know, what's what from any type of situation. I know some people that's been together for a long time and then they broke up,
Mm-hmm.
and bam, child support.
Mm.
Then on the flip side, I know some that that never got the courts involved.
Yeah. And they just
And
kind of worked it out,
yeah,
or
they just
co-parent.
worked it out.
Yeah.
I think if people could be civilized, you wouldn't even have to worry about the courts being in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you could just co-parent and just do your thing, do what you're supposed to do. But again, I know people who they have no choice but to like get child support involved. Like I know women who didn't want to do it, but they did it because they were struggling so bad, and the man just he made a start. He might have started giving $200-300 here and there, then $200-300 turned into $75, and then $75 turned into, hey, I'll get you next week when I get paid, and then next week come and they don't get no money. I think that child support it just gives them consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they need is consistency to be able to be coming in and not inconsistency. And unfortunately, sometimes you got to get, the people involved
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this was a banger.
It was a banger.
Definitely, man. Like I said, very, very touchy topic, for a lot of people out there, even myself. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all out here that's watching as well. And, deadbeat parents is always going to be a thing. It's never going to go away. As long as people are the way that they are. It's a heart issue.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a heart issue. It's the same problem. We go as far as to say that. It's the same problem. I think that you and Dead Eyes, who was in here earlier, just hit the nail on the head. Just saying it's just, the definition of it is just escaping responsibility. And that's exactly what that young lady told the whole world. She did not want to be responsible anymore. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You want to go out and do things, but that you can't do with kids. It's true. There's some things that you can't do when you have children, but it's not their fault. And you made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, like me and Martrice, every day I'm getting mail from different states of catalogs and stuff, maps.
Mm-hmm.
So what we planned on doing is that when our youngest son graduates, which is a long time from now, we're going to travel to all 50 states.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So when he graduates, we're going to be like, see you later.
Yeah.
We're going to travel, man. We are going to travel and have a great time, and we're actually planning it now so that when we're able to do it, we can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
That's how big of a priority our kids are to us. We put ourselves last. Mm-hmm. We enjoy the time period that we have together. We enjoy the time period that we have with our kids. Mm-hmm. But we also understand that there's just some things, some things have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're grateful to be able to take the family trips together. We're grateful to be able to do things like that. But I guess, some people just, they don't want to accept their consequences, their responsibilities, mm-hmm. and take it for face value. But, that's the world we live in. Yeah. You got any announcements, man, before we wrap things up?
Well, I mean, besides you make me think over here. I mean, next week of course, same stream schedule as normal. Maybe not on Tuesdays, because depending on how this weekend goes, I've decided myself, if I hadn't sold any cars this weekend, I'm going in full closeout mode, which is going to be 3 weeks of no days off. So,
Oh man.
yeah, because I got to play catch up. But as of right now, the stream schedule still on. We've been playing horror games all month for Halloween for October, so we're doing that. And then actually next Saturday, I will be participating in a type 1 diabetes walk with the JDRF. So
Okay.
um, hopefully I'll be able to stream it.
That'd be great.
Uh, just to, talk to everybody and y'all can enjoy the scenery and we talk diabetes because I mean most of y'all in the chat know I am type 1 diabetic, so this has really been a passion for me, making everyone more aware about type 1 diabetes and not just type 1 and type 2 together because they're two different things.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Nice. Nice. That's what's up. For me, I know that October 22nd, which is a Sunday, at 4:30 CST, I'll be doing another Leg Experience podcast. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a podcast. I wanted to take some time off.
mm-hmm.
I'll be sitting down with Beauty, aka Renee, who is just nervous as can be. But I think she's gonna be fine. She's really really cool chick. One of my moderators when she's available. Um, I want to give her an opportunity to have the floor. I feel like she's somebody that definitely deserves some attention
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of tell her story for us, how she got into streaming and just a little bit about IRL. Like we've talked
Yeah.
offline before about some stuff, and she doesn't stream as much as she used to,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a reason behind that. So I want her to just talk to everybody about that, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I know it's a little bit further down, or actually another couple of weeks. November is my birthday month, and I plan on doing a 12-hour stream for my birthday.
Okay.
Now I haven't done a 12-hour stream in a hot minute.
Yeah.
And your boy been tapping out at 3 hours. So I need to get conditioned.
Don't worry.
I got time to plan it out. And hopefully I'll have a new chair by that time. I know that would help a lot.
Yeah. Don't worry.
That's gonna be
You make sure you're in the Discord when you do this. I'm gonna make sure I'm in the Discord when you do this. So I'm gonna need to know what day your stream is. So I'm gonna try to take off, and we're gonna make sure you fulfill this. Right. Ain't that right, Carlos?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna create a poster, a board, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll post pretty soon.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there early, just so people will know, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this was something that I did back in 2021. I want to bring it back. November, I want to be Nintendo month. Okay. So I'm gonna be playing like all Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
My son, me, I'm about to buy him Super Mario Wonder, which is, I don't know. The first time I heard about it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
He wanted it for his birthday, and it doesn't come out until next week, so I got to get that for him.
Yeah.
So I'll probably take that from him for a day, play it, or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Some retro games, SNES, NES, just really paying homage to the Nintendo. Because I play so much PlayStation and PC, I hardly ever use my Switch.
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead and do that for next month, the whole month of November. But
cool.
That's about it for me, man.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Well, guys, ladies and gents, we definitely want to say thank you for being here tonight. I know there's a lot of activities going on this weekend. There were some people that came in earlier in the chat. They are actually a part of another podcast that we're all mods in for another YouTube channel. But we got the Jackson State Homecoming, and there's a lot of stuff going on But y'all chose to be here for the support, and I appreciate that.
That's great.
But to everybody that commented, liked, shared, subbed, thank y'all so much.
Yeah. Really, really appreciate y'all. And if you haven't liked the stream, please be sure to do that. We can go ahead and get that thing going. And I'm gonna say one more thing before we go off. I mean, me and Bearded have been having talks about potentially creating a Two Bearded Guys Twitch channel, because we know that most of the community is there, and it'll just be a little bit of a different flavor. We did stream a podcast one time on Twitch over on his channel, but we're thinking about doing it, just in its own entity, just like this right here. We'll see. Not saying that it'll be anytime soon. I mean, it's like nearly the end of the year. It may be something we do in the beginning of the year. I think that may actually be when we should.
Yeah.
Or when we should do it, to be honest. Just giving y'all a heads up. But anyway, hopefully y'all have an amazing night. And we will see y'all on the next episode.
Yep. Much love to y'all. Beat it out.
All right. Y'all have a great